This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We're at RAEMIRUE Photography. Since 2006, she has basically been capturing the heart and spirit of images of people from LA all the way to Denver and Phoenix in between. Let me ask you this, Raimi. First of all, you've obviously been studying your art since the 90s, really. What got you involved in photography? Why did you decide this is something you wanted to do?
My mother was a photographer, a professional photographer. She got trained in film. So I grew up being trained in a darkroom with now they call it old school film from when I was probably 7 years old. I was helping my mom develop and print in a darkroom in my basement. So that's how I originally got started.
Obviously, people love photography because it captures the moment. You basically love capturing the heart and the spirit of your subject. That's what your goal is, right?
When I think about what I do and when I'm photographing people, it touches my heart, especially when I get to make people laugh and smile when they don't naturally do that during their day.
Absolutely. Your approach is a real fun environment. You've taken a natural approach to the way you do things. Is that what makes you enjoy it even more so?
Yeah, and that's probably why I don't have a studio. I tried the studio aspect in the beginning of my career, and I find that people are just so much more natural and free to be themselves outdoors.
Film is what got you started in this, but now you've conversed over to digital. Share with me some of the equipment that you're able to use.
I use a Canon 50D, which I love. It's a great digital camera, and it gives me versatility and spontaneity at the same time.
You obviously provide formal portraiture in your work, but really your specialty is that of candid, because basically you're capturing people. Is that what your clients tell you as well?
The biggest compliment that I get is when I get an image and I deliver the image and they cry.
Right.
Because it's just so moving and I've captured the spirit of that person or that family on film.
Wonderful. I know people who have received your work before, they open up that CD, they're pretty much in awe the same way you are.
Yes.
What gets me is the fact that most of the time, your moms, your kids, they open up, they look at an image, they cry over it. You're one of those photographers that pretty much you cried right along with them.
Yeah, and I am being a mom myself, and I have a family. I have a 3 and a 5-year-old, and I look for a photographer when I want to be in the picture. And it's tough to find a really just fabulous photographer that can capture that spirit, that essence of your family.
One of the things you said here is obviously you take a very natural approach, so therefore the outdoor environment is what works for you. We're sitting in one of your popular locations that you love to come to, one of many. Like you said, basically, does that seem to help the client relax as well as yourself?
Yeah, I find that it helps the client open up. Typically, I think when us as human beings, we get outdoors rather than indoors, we get to be more natural and more self-expressed, so yeah.
One of the biggest days everyone needs captured, they have to have captured, is their wedding day. Do you offer wedding photography as well?
Absolutely, I do. I love shooting weddings. I like to shoot the beginning to the end. So when the bride is getting dressed in that special moment, through the ceremony, through the reception.
So really, your work really tells a story of that day. From beginning to end, you are a photojournalist at heart.
It's absolutely a story, and I think that's the best way to describe my work, is that if it doesn't tell a story, it's not worth it. Photography should tell a story.
One of the things, families getting together, getting portraits done, do you do children as well as families, or everything in between?
The people I love shooting most is kids. And the reason is they're so innocent and they're so natural in their environment. I don't have to coach them. I don't have to tell them to smile. They stand back and they play, and that's the best photography.
One of the a popular form of photography is that of boudoir photography. Is that something that takes place on location, or do you actually go to the home? How does that work?
I usually go to a home because I want to make the woman or the man comfortable in an environment. So normally, if we were shooting on a bridge, they may not be so comfortable. So I want to make them very, very comfortable.
folks out there that are looking for a photographer, maybe they've gotten tired of basically getting the run-of-the-mill, smile at the camera type of thing, and there's a lot of it out there. What would you tell these folks if they're thinking about letting you come in and actually capture their energy?
You know, two things that I can think of, especially with me shopping for a photographer for my own family, I always look for, is the person going to make me feel comfortable? I want to feel comfortable.
Sure.
I don't want to feel contrived. I don't want to feel, weird.
Absolutely.
The other thing is I want to see their after pictures. So there's pictures that come out of the camera, and then there's pictures that come out of the computer, and they work hand in hand. And I think both of those aspects are very, very important.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, there's an artistic approach that you take behind the camera, but there's also an artistic approach you take at that computer. And you basically are giving them something, a final product. They're never going to see something raw or undeveloped. They get the best of the best.
Absolutely. I find that, number one, in this day and age, people want all of the images. There's websites out there that are so, you can make your own book, you can make your own cards, you can make your own invitations. So I try to accommodate their needs, our needs, my needs.
Folks, once again, speaking of websites, take a look at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see her website. On the website there, first of all, you're going to see some great images. We've been basically scrolling a lot of her work across the screen right now. And as you can see, she has captured basically the heart and spirit of her subjects. She is hoping that shines through on that final image. And that's why people, if you'll notice there's a lot of testimonials of people who have loved her work. Everything from weddings, as well as portraiture, families, individuals. She will take you basically at a location, possibly of your choosing, or if you're not sure where, she has plenty of places that she can choose out that she has worked in before. And really, by having a studio in the outdoors, you are not limited by one location, be it Phoenix, be it LA, be it here in Denver. You love traveling for your work?
I love traveling. Absolutely love traveling. And I feel lucky that I get to do it and get paid and do something that I'm so passionate about.
Somebody out there who's thinking about booking you for a wedding coming up, what do you recommend? How many months in advance should they get a hold of you to make sure those Saturdays don't get booked?
Most brides, in my experience, think that if they don't have a wedding photographer booked within 6 to 8 months out, then they're behind. And that's not the case. There's possibilities to do it within a month, if your wedding is next month.
Let me ask you one last thing for folks out there who basically have never been photographed before. They're nervous about getting in front of somebody professional. Do you like meeting with them in person, a consultation over the phone? What do you prefer?
I love that you asked me that, because I just photographed a family last week, and I was so honored because after the session, the husband came up to me and he said, I was dreading this photo shoot. I thought it was going to be torture. And it was so much fun. I never expected to have this much fun during a photo shoot.
Wow, that is really cool, because quite honestly, it was probably a treat for him to, number one, just get out with the family like that. But on top of it, basically, you captured some great images for him, and he's going to have those memories forever now.
It was amazing. It was really amazing. And probably the biggest compliment I could get is being told this was fun when I thought it was going to be not fun.
But like you've said, if you're not having fun, you're probably not doing what you want to be doing.
That's right.
You got it, folks. Take a look. Last time, bottom of the screen right there. Check out our Facebook page as well. Click like right there. You're going to see some of the folks that really have loved the work that she has provided. And you're also going to see some great images. And obviously, if you want to book a session, give her a call. Call her up. This is a person who basically will end up loving your images pretty much as you do. Thank you for joining us here today, and we hope some of the folks out there will get together, and their phone number's at the bottom of the screen. That is RAEMIRUE Photography in Denver, Colorado. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.